What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So we're doing another death battle. This is an old death battle. So it's 1 year old. This is Spawn versus, I want to say Crona. I forgot how to pronounce this guy's name. I see. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Coronavirus. What?
That V.
What's the V?
I'm trying to get you to remember the name of the character. So it wasn't
Venom?
Spawn. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did I say Spawn? Oh, shit. I meant Venom. I meant Venom. Venom versus Crona. Damn. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. You could have just said that shit, had me looking like, wait, what? But yeah, we're doing that. I haven't seen Soul Eater in a minute. Like I seen Soul Eater a long time ago. It was back when I was dating this other chick a long time ago. Told me about Soul Eater. So I'm kind of interested.
I can make a pun. I can make a pun, but we're trying not to get demonetized, so we're just gonna keep it moving.
Do it. Do it. Just do it. Do it.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, she told you about Soul Eater, and you wanted her to eat your soul. You were trying to get that Shang Tsung. You know what I'm saying?
Play the video. Play the video. Play the video.
It's always nice to have a best friend attached to your
I'm trying to get that fatality over here.
Oh, damn.
Take their friends
all right.
further than that. Venom, the lethal symbiote and Spider-Man's best frenemy. And Crona, the deadly demon sword from Soul Eater.
It was the sword.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons.
That's why I didn't remember it. Because I remember the chick, but not the sword. Was that a chick? I don't even remember those chicks.
I don't know. I've never seen Soul Eater. I've heard of it, but never seen it.
It was decent.
Symbiotes was Venom. Who was a freaking loser? Hey, don't look at me. All the goop aliens were saying it. So they kicked the poor slime ball straight off the planet. In its exile, the symbiote underwent a number of misadventures which firmly shaped its personality. It bonded to a heroic Kree soldier rescuing refugees, a violent monster who committed genocide, and apparently Deadpool. Damn, no wonder Venom's so messed up in the head. Eventually, the symbiote was discovered by Peter Parker, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It gave him a pretty slick black suit and awesome new powers. But after finding out it was a confused, raging psychopathic alien, Pete decided to exercise.
I remember it too. He pushed his ass. Nigga, drop that.
Shocker! I will chase you to the ends of the earth.
Boy. He was mad. I remember Shocker was running too. I was like, yeah, you better run, bro.
The identity of a serial killer, he blamed the wrong guy. The same day he published his article, Spidey caught the real killer, who lived right next door to the dude Eddie blamed. Long story short, Eddie was fired from his job, divorced by his wife, and disowned by his father, who already blamed Eddie for his wife dying in childbirth. On top of all of that, Eddie learned he developed adrenal
cancer. See, all that backstory they could have had in that movie, man.
Man, and I thought 2020 was rough. I almost don't blame him for becoming a supervillain.
Well, they did have the cancer in there.
Begged God to take it all away.
They did?
And got an answer. The symbiote.
I don't remember that.
Like
yeah, but it was like kidney or liver cancer or some shit. Like he was sick.
Well, no, they
okay, I forgot all about that.
Spider-Man's powers and then some. Their mutual hatred of Spider-Man caused the symbiote to bond to Eddie like no host.
Because remember when he ripped himself off of Eddie, he was already wounded too.
Unstoppable demon. They were Venom. It even cured Eddie's cancer. Sort of. It's complicated. Apart from Spider-Man's webbing and web-crawling powers, Venom can use shape-shifting to mold his body into cool dude.
That was one of my favorite abilities that he had.
Even wings. Yeah, imagine seeing
this guy
flying out.
Yeah, that's all the stuff happening in the new Venom run now.
Venom can camouflage his entire body.
There you go. That's that old school shit I like.
See all around him at once, and psychically project emotions onto others. Normally, this just makes people feel sorry for themselves, like Wiz on Tinder. But one time he convinced a bunch of other symbiotes that life was meaningless and they killed themselves.
Yep, Planet of the Symbiotes.
Desperate, the symbiote can even
just like the new run.
The bodies of others and make them burst from inside out. Gross.
Damn.
Yep.
Awesome. But if he doesn't want to pop them like a fun balloon, he can just take over their body like a creepy puppet master.
That's why they say, I don't know, you know the superhero Plastic Man from DC Comics?
No. Yes.
The red guy would wear the sunglasses.
Yep.
That's why in DC Comics, Batman classifies Plastic Man as like one of the strongest superheroes because he's damn near invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And he can even kill Superman by doing that, jumping down his throat and killing him.
Oh, wow.
Because Superman still has to breathe. He has bodily functions, even though, you know, but he could go in anybody's throat and kill him. And he's damn near invulnerable. You can't hurt him.
He can kill him by deep throating him. Wow.
Some people can't take all the inches.
Hey.
Specifically the brainstem and frontal lobes. Fighting off this mind control is extremely difficult unless you have powers that can directly
Wolverine,
counter it, such as another symbiote.
Yeah, he got a symbiote before. I think everybody got it at some point. I got that comic. That one right there. Still got it.
Don't worry. Aside from being a horrible mass murderer, Venom's stories are completely wholesome. Right.
Yeah, they are.
Venom proved a dangerous thorn in Spider-Man's side, and frequently
give me that neck, boy.
Even taking a page out of my favorite book, The Most Dangerous Game, and hunting him on a private island. Yeah, he was the coolest rival ever, but over the years, things kind of calmed down a bit. They even teamed up every so often.
Yeah,
even with
Maximum Carnage.
Pause right quick. Symbiote stopped the train, sans host. So he stopped the train without the host.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to do that by himself. Caught up and rode a fired bullet. Whoa, hold up. He caught up to and rode a bullet.
Yeah, they were standing on the same roof, and let's say a guy was like 10 or 15 feet from somebody else, and he pointed a gun and shot the bullet. The bullet traveled, and the suit came off of Eddie to catch the bullet, essentially.
Damn.
Yeah.
Escaped the realm of madness, survived Dirt Nap's acidic enzymes, took a sonic wave that shattered windows within 10 miles, battled the Clintar and Poison and Dark symbiote invasions, defeated Spider-Man?
Carnage, and Juggernaut, and the Grendel.
Okay. We know he's fast as fuck. So we know that.
And his weaknesses, like where it says he took a sonic wave that shattered, symbiotes are weak to fire and sound. So that tells you he's strong even against the things that weaken to him. Over time, he builds up a resistance to it.
Okay.
Legitimate desire to protect others. As a teenager stealing his dad's car, he accidentally ran over and killed a child. Despite his desire to confess, his father forced him to plead innocent.
Yeah, that was messed up.
The jury. The guilt has weighed him down ever since.
Who is this?
That was Eddie Brock. He ran over a kid when he was younger, and he wanted to turn himself into the cops. And his dad was like, no, just lie to him and say that you ain't do it or whatever. So he got off. They never arrested him, but yeah, he did that shit.
Oh, damn.
Venom does have a hunger for human brains. He'd
Yep,
rather eat
got that comic too.
Than an innocent person. Venom's
Eats the brains for the adrenaline.
He survived Ghost Rider's penance stare. He's strong enough to toss a tank hundreds of feet up. And
strong
fast
shit.
enough to take down Spidey 2099, who once caught Mjolnir while it was moving 2,000 times the speed of sound. Although Venom does not possess the spider sense
Hold
that
up.
allows Parker
Pause that. Hold up. Spider-Man 2099 caught Mjolnir?
Mm-hmm.
That was orbiting the Earth. Dog. He caught that. And by proxy, Venom beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, I'm done. Bro.
Yeah, because
I've never seen that. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's 2099.
At the same time, though, that means Mjolnir is saying that he's worthy enough to catch him and stop it. So it's
because otherwise he would have kept going and he would have just grabbed
otherwise
it.
His arm would have been gone.
Yep.
Because he's not down like
because Spider-Man 2099, he's not like 20 times stronger than a regular Spider-Man. He has around the same strength level. So it's not like he's so much stronger. That's why I caught it. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, we showed it happen, but if you try to make it make sense,
this version of Spider-Man caught this hammer that was moving at that speed of sound or whatever. Okay, all right, that's crazy.
2,000 times the speed of sound. Although Venom does not possess the spider sense that allows Parker to react in microseconds, he can still keep up.
He can see everywhere around him, so you don't need it.
Plus, while symbiotes have a severe weakness to high-pitched sound and heat, he's developed resistances to them.
Like
Got
when
that
he took
comic
this
too.
giant explosion, or when he survived a sonic scream from some mutant gremlins that shattered all glass within 10 miles.
While he may be tougher to take down than most other symbiotes, Venom never fully overcame his weaknesses. However, his symbiotic genes provide far more help than harm. This includes traits and memories.
That's not
from
even
other
Eddie
hosts,
Brock.
like Scorpion and Flash.
I was about to say that's the Scorpion.
Wait. Bullets are a genetic trait? How do I pass that down?
Venom would certainly need a lot of firepower to survive an encounter with
What
a
they're probably not going to
symbiote.
say
Oh, geez.
is Venom not only retains, like, what they're making a joke about bullets being a genetic trait, but
What,
Venom
him being able to shoot small bullets of himself?
well, yeah, technically he can make them like the darkness if he wanted to. But what I was saying was, what is a genetic trait that they're probably not going to get to? Venom has all the skills of all the previous people who wore it.
Yeah.
So, like, Flash Thompson was a Black Ops soldier, technically. So he can basically, I mean, he can only do it like one time, but he did it one time where basically the suit took on the form of Flash Thompson, and then he had the personality of Flash Thompson with all of his military skills and stuff for like 2 minutes.
But with no host?
No, Eddie was those.
Okay.
But he still but the symbiote retains all of the skills and stuff to be able to
mean,
use that. You know, that's
kind of like a given, because that's why Eddie Brock can shoot spider webs and shit, because it's like he's still technically have the same thing as Spider-Man.
well the webs they're not webs.
Well,
they're just
I know
bits
it's
of
versus,
the,
it's just like bits of himself, but I mean, it's like because he can still do it, it's because Spider-Man wore him, so that's why he retained that, especially with the spider thing on his chest and everything.
yeah, he retains the memories of when he was bonded to other people.
The Clintar symbiotes were seen as a peaceful people, but turns out they were actually living weapons forged by the primordial deity Null in an attempt to conquer the universe.
And I bet
Yep.
next up, Marvel decides they're magic maple syrup people from Asgardian IHOP.
Probably.
Okay, cosmic sludge made by alien Satan. Let's go with that.
Despite it all, Eddie and the symbiote have proven they're far more than the dark legacy the Clintar were intended for. They've even gained the respect of the Avengers and eventually considered Spider-Man a friend.
That old school.
I remember
picture.
like this music
He really
is
the
dope,
best pal Venom
because it sounds like
around.
the 90s
He
Spider-Man
just looks
music.
freaking badass.
See us everywhere, even in your nightmares.
My childhood.
In ancient times, a demonic being known as the Kishin ravaged humanity, nearly driving all mankind into the depths of madness. This monster could only be defeated and sealed away by the god of death.
So, why is the literal god
So dope.
of death so goofy looking? You ever seen Death Note? Hell, even Thanos' girlfriend is scarier than this clown.
If you are unfamiliar with the world of Soul Eater, prepare yourself. It's different.
Wasn't that made by the same guy who made like Naruto or Bleach or something?
I don't know about the Bleach part.
Academy.
Here,
It was a
warriors
Shonen
called
Jump,
Monsters were
though.
trained to fight evil
Yeah.
using the power of their souls.
Because I could have swore I remember looking up something, and it's like they made this and then like something else right after it. But that something else was a hell of a lot more popular than that.
Crona Gorgon was not one of these students.
Buckle up, it's all Gloomsville from here.
I did not like that
I don't
character,
think I know
bro.
how to deal with this situation.
Throughout their childhood, Crona was abused by their mother, Medusa, a witch obsessed with the legendary Kishin.
You can see where this is going. Anime Uma Thurman was such a fangirl she figured, hey, why don't I make my own Kishin? So she used her child as a guinea pig in a bunch of crazy experiments. You know, it kind of sounds like something you do, Wiz.
Don't be silly, I only use actual guinea pigs.
Experimented, used with a mutated demon.
Bonding Crona to a weapon, much like the Meisters of Death Academy. However, joining with Ragnarok was a bit more literal.
Ragnarok used to be your run-of-the-mill transformer.
Yeah, I forgot the sword had that damn
Until
personality,
Medusa
too.
melted him alive in black blood.
Black blood being another experiment of hers. Crona's own blood is, in fact, this same black blood, which they can remotely control. It can be used to heal wounds and even harden as a sort of internal armor.
Cooking rags in black blood turned him into a brand new weapon that was literally poured into Crona's bloodstream.
From that point on, Crona and Ragnarok were two halves of the same person. the meek and tortured child firmly attached to their loud and brazen weapon.
And Raggy has that black blood control too.
Motherfucker used to bully the hell out of
Crona
her.
around like a puppet. They can use black blood to create wings, thorny vines, all kinds of weapons, and big ass needles. Ugh, I hate needles. What's up with that mouth when he transforms into a sword? That thing's messed up.
Like the Meisters, Crona can wield their own soul in combat, amplified by Ragnarok as a technique called scream resonance. Think of it like hooking an electric guitar up to an amp, though more akin to a screeching banshee on LSD.
I didn't know you play.
I don't. It's incredibly powerful, causing internal damage to foes and making Ragnarok vibrate to increase his cutting power.
Sound is a motherfucker.
You okay?
What?
With this weapon at
Can
their
break apart
side,
matter.
Crona set out on a quest to become a Kishin, which required quite a lot of homicide.
Yeah, Ragnarok can absorb the souls of dead people, and supposedly enough souls will turn Crona into the Kishin. So they went around slaughtering hundreds of people.
Despite their name, Death Academy wasn't exactly a fan, particularly their star student, Maka Alburn.
Don't worry, she and Crona ended up becoming
Damn,
good
beating her
friends.
ass.
Until they weren't. Sort of. It's complicated.
As a pawn in Medusa's mission, Crona gained several levels of new potential, notably after gaining or absorbing the powers of the monstrous Black Clown, the demon tool Brew, and even Ashura, the original Kishin.
All of which increased Crona's abilities, especially the black blood. Now Crona could turn their entire body into goop, and the slightest touch could inflict madness. That's madness with a capital M, by the way.
This madness is a corruptive effect that causes targeted variants of delusion or obsession, often spread as a wavelength. The wavelength of Crona's mad blood specifically causes violent psychosis.
Crona may be a pawn, but they're a badass. They can cut through a whole ghost ship, cover the moon with sound waves, open the moon's mouth? What the hell is wrong with that moon?
Yeah,
Crona
that shit was
and
weird.
Ragnarok have held their own against multiple
That looks
Death
weird.
Academy students, including Maka, Death the Kid, and Black Star.
Sometimes all at once.
Kid once flew from Nevada to Egypt in less than a minute, and Black
Damn, that's
Star
bad.
is even faster. He's dodged lasers and been tracked moving over 20 kilometers in 6 microseconds while approaching Baba Yaga Castle.
And Crona's been able to make enough mad blood to crush a whole goddamn Ukrainian city.
While this city isn't named, we can use a similar metropolitan area in Ukraine. Kiev, for instance. With this in mind, Crona must have
Fuck, I hate when I do
over
this.
9 trillion tons of black blood, enough to fill over 6
It's like
billion
assumptions
Olympic
based on
swimming
statistics.
pools.
But Crona's a big leap from invincible. They've had their shit kicked in plenty of times, and their hardened black blood can only block so much.
Even then, Medusa's plan ultimately succeeded. After years of scheming, Crona absorbed the power of Ashura and became a Kishin.
Well, more like Kishin absorbed Crona, but close enough.
But with the power of friendship, Crona ironically wound up defeating the Kishin once and for all. Despite their life being nothing but destruction, Crona was the one who ultimately saved the world.
With an added side effect of a new madness wavelength that made everyone obsessed with boobs. Truly a positive effect
Wait, what?
for people everywhere.
Just give up. I'm tired.
It was a lot of fan service in it, too.
Deal with you.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, instead of chewing on brains and souls, how about chewing on blue?
Blue Chew. All right, so pause real quick.
Okay.
From what you've heard, what do you think?
I would give it to Crona because based on abilities. I mean, he or she has a lot to throw out. Venom, just because I know that character through and through, the greatest thing that they got is shapeshifting. And so, I mean, unless I mean, you know Crona more than me, but unless the other spirit, whatever the black blood, unless that needs the body of the person to be there, then maybe Venom could jump down her throat and, let's say, kill the person, and then yeah. So
it's the black blood is her blood, so it's like so essentially when her mom merged the sword into her with the whole black blood thing, they became one. So that sword pops out at different times, and it's like it has its own personality. So it's just like it's very similar to what Eddie and Brock. I mean, with what Eddie and Venom are, but with Eddie and Venom doesn't really. Over time, he absorbed Eddie, right? Like, and it was just they were a part of the same one thing, but it took years for that to happen. Essentially, Eddie's just wearing Venom. They're not like one and the same, unless you count like him. Like if you remove his arm, he can grow it back. Yeah, that's kind of similar, but it's like he's regenerating his arm as opposed to just growing his shit back. He's like regenerating his arm.
It's like Venom is. Well, I mean, they even retcon that, but as far as in the comic books, at least now, and like recently back in the day, they were both the same. Like during the Planet of the Symbiotes thing, they both merged molecularly, so they were just one entity, so to speak. But now recently Venom got his arm cut off, and when he's Venom, the suit can make a venomized arm, but when he goes away, it's still chopped off. So it's not like his arm. I mean, it can probably regrow it, but it hasn't shown, at least in the new shit. So they're still separate. So
with this character, she can turn the inside of her body hard because all her blood is like armor. So if I would just guess that if Venom did jump down her throat, she can just solidify her body and to make sure it doesn't explode. Plus, she can still transform and go liquid and stuff too, just like Venom. So I don't think it will be trapped. I would just think Venom would just get excreted out. But if you're trying to compare strength, him beating Spider-Man that caught Mjolnir going 2,000 miles an hour or 2,000 times the speed of sound
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because like the hammer, it's not gonna damage anybody who's worthy anyways, especially if Mjolnir found it worthy. So it's like it wouldn't have hurted him.
And if she can go intangible and liquid and stuff, you having a stronger punching power isn't gonna mean shit.
If she settled a city, and did that much energy, I don't think the symbiote can take that. Plus, I know what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna do a screech thing with the sword, and Venom is gonna hurt Venom, but they're gonna show that Venom is used to that sort of thing. Yeah, because in the show, that sound wasn't enough to that screech wasn't enough to explode like glass in a 10-mile radius. Yeah, so that won't work.
Yeah, but I just don't see how. Yeah, me too. I don't see how Venom could put her down. Essentially, like the symbiote, she can kill Eddie Brock, and the symbiote would still be there, and she would have to deal with that. But I don't see how Venom in any kind of way could beat Crona unless it jumped on her and overtook her sword's personality or something.
I'm still thinking about old Venom, where old Venom, even if you kill Eddie Brock, he was using Eddie Brock as a puppet, and Eddie Brock was dead. You remember when they finally took Venom off of it, and it was just a skeleton of Eddie Brock?
Yeah, the suit would still be there. That's actually another symbiote character in the comic books who's wearing that Kree soldier, I think, the one that they showed. Another symbiote took over his body and essentially lobotomized him, because he was a character where the symbiote tried to bond with him, and he was mentally strong enough to be like, no, you're going to do what I say, and we're going to do this. So he was stronger. So in order to prevent that, it lobotomized him when it bonded him over. So now he's just wearing his body around as a host.
That's messed up.
But he's the only host in the body.
Shit. That's messed up. Also, this thing can make people go mad, but Venom can do the same thing.
Yeah, it said it made people depressed and stuff like that. Essentially, I don't see how that's going to win a fight, though. That's the thing. It's I don't see
toe to toe.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see how Venom could, even with all of his powers and strengths and abilities, how are you going to beat that person? Because that person got other moves and stuff that could kill you, but you don't have nothing that can kill that. Yeah. So we'll see.
Hello? I want to be alone.
Hey, pay attention, you turd.
Damn.
Yep. They used to do that shit in anime too.
Ah, lucky day. 2 brains for the price of 1.
They always used the fighting game version of Venom.
Right now.
Got no kind of confidence.
Hated that character, man. I know she went through a lot, but it was just like she's so annoying.
What, being super timid and stuff?
Yeah. Which is like just make it want to feel sorry for her, but I'm like, I never feel sorry for her. It's just like, damn, they took all the animation from the game.
Yeah, it's the straight character. The same sprite. They do it for a lot of their older stuff before this year.
What is he?
We are the ones hiding under your bed.
We are Venom.
And eyes glowing red.
See, it's like all of Venom stuff is all physical. I don't see how
Yeah.
you can really, if he had like energy projection or something, but it's just all physical attack.
Your blood.
That's just gonna make her more powerful because that's her blood, right?
It's black.
That moon, man, that's just creepy.
Just like in anime too. I was like, why does the moon have a face, bro? And why is it always bleeding?
I was about to say that.
I want to know who would win out of Jeepers Creepers and Venom. How about that?
Because they're like, none of that would kill her, right? I mean, if she's super tough and
Yeah,
physical body don't really matter, so
they
yeah,
really don't.
like I thought.
And there's only so much that Venom can take until he gets wore out and starts melting.
Darkness. We are your nightmare. We are Venom.
Wow, would the
There it
darkness
is.
matter?
Took a while to get there.
I hate you.
Well, that's the screen.
All right, there we go. Took both their souls. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Man,
They didn't even.
these
Yeah,
symbiotes
that's it.
really need to stop picking fights with pink-haired anime characters. F***ing crazy.
Venom was certainly a tricky opponent. His shape-shifting camouflage and multitude of weapons kept Crona on guard. Unfortunately,
He didn't even
Venom
show any of the
lacked the power
camouflage.
needed to keep
Yeah, I
up
know.
a long fight.
Yeah,
Why even mention it?
matching Black Star's speed makes for a pretty clear difference. Crona could reach Mach 9,000, while Venom only topped out around Mach 2,000.
And while Venom has shown incredible physical strength that puts Spider-Man to shame, he could never compete with 9 trillion tons
Yeah.
of mad blood.
Yeah, as soon as I saw
Like
that,
we
I was
said.
like, yeah,
That
there's no
precise
way.
Control of the black blood totally meant Crona could push out any of Venom's attempt at being a puppeteer.
And Crona's shown even greater feats of strength as well. Assuming all of the moon's teeth.
See, that's what I was talking
are
about. Like
similar
the
in size
puppeteer
and
part,
stone,
jumping inside,
his
he
jaw
can
is
just push it
equivalent
out.
to lifting over 10,000 tons.
Of course, the final nail in Eddie's coffin was the fact that half of Crona's arsenal was sound-based, basically Venom's kryptonite.
Somewhat. Recall that Venom did gain a notable resistance to sound attacks.
That's what I'm saying.
So
They didn't even
we
show
needed
that.
to determine if Crona's sonic waves were great enough to effectively harm him.
You know those gremlins who shattered every window in 10 miles with a screech attack? The symbiote barely survived it, so that's a good
Wow.
high end to look at.
It takes at least 100 decibels to shatter glass.
They made it seem like
To cover that
he
much
survived
distance,
that shit,
the
no
combined
problem.
Sonic blast must have equaled about 244 decibels. In contrast, in order to engulf the moon, Crona's sonic waves must have reached over 275 decibels.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
The
that's
sonic
considering
waves
the
did that,
weird
not the
size and
blood.
shape of the moon. Ugh, just look at that freaky thing.
Sure, 275 doesn't seem that much more than 244, but decibels increase on a logarithmic rate.
Yep,
This means
exponentially.
Crona's sound attack was actually
Every time it
over
goes up, it, like,
1,000
doubles.
times stronger.
Vinny for sure wasn't surviving that.
Eddie and the symbiote held their own with versatility, but Crona and Ragnarok had them beat in destructive power, blistering speed, and
Yeah, it's like I said, Venom just couldn't put him down. I mean, that's
Like we don't see Venom do anything else other than physical attacks.
the winner.
Yeah.
And his
is
attacks are just like beating you up or like with an axe or a sword or something like that.
But how'd you like that one?
It wasn't surprising, but like I liked it because it showed Venom off really nicely.
Mm.
You know, I'm a bigger fan of Venom than I am of Crona, but
Feels like a
once they
mismatch to
explain
me.
it, yeah, once they explain it, it's like the only reason they did this is because like these are the two most closely related characters that are very similar of
Mm.
entities, but they never did a Spawn versus Venom. You know, it's like I mean
Yeah.
they did the fight, but it's like they didn't really go into that, and I still think that probably Spawn would have won that one too.
Oh yeah,
'Cause,
yeah. Like
yeah.
if they made one, yeah. I mean, you got magic. Venom don't got
Yeah,
magic. So.
because Spawn's suit is an inside out suit as well. So it's like it
Mm.
comes from
It's its own
it will push him
symbiote.
out. Yep.
Leafa of the Thousand House or something, whatever it's called.
Because if he can fight fucking Devil Dog, you know, with that Spawn suit, he can definitely fight fucking Venom. So
Yeah.
that would be a mismatch too.
Oh yeah,
He
heavily
got
in
way
Spawn's
more.
favor. I
Yeah,
mean,
he got way
he
more
fights
stuff.
demons, angels, and he kills gods. Like, come on.
Yep.
Well,
Weaponry, guns, everything. It's like that's not even a competition right there. So I can see why they went this route, but it was still a mismatch. Because even in the Spider-Man comic, it's still technically a mismatch because yeah, he beats Spider-Man, but he doesn't really beat Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know.
It's always something that Spider-Man uses to win or change his mind or he gets away or like in a straight up toe-to-toe battle. Like Spider-Man's won a few times like that. But at least in the early stuff, it was always some kind of gimmick that he had to do to win. And then in the times when they did fight, it was always Venom was always shown to be stronger than Spider-Man because he was that for a reason.
Stronger.
Yeah, stronger, faster, all of that stuff. And then Carnage was stronger than both of them. That's why they had to team up. And Toxin's son is stronger than all fucking three of them. So, or Carnage's son is stronger than all three of them. So, but it was good. I mean, I like the other Carnage one better than this one now.
I feel like this was more of a this was one where if you look at the information they give you, you can draw up a logical conclusion. It's better than the other ones that we saw where it's like we're just gonna omit this one piece of information
just to make the other character win. Yeah, I get it.
Even though they kind of did it here, was like, yeah, he did survive those gremlins screaming, but this is what he looked like after. Ah, okay. if you'd have showed me that picture, yeah, I would have said he ain't winning.
But all right, YouTube. If you guys want us to react to any of the other, Death Battle stuff they put out, or even anybody else's videos outside of, Death Battle, anybody else on YouTube, let us know down in the comments below. Give us the title of the video so we can search it. Because links will not work. And before we end things, Jolly, you got anything to say?
I ain't got nothing to say, but if you made it this far, put dose of Venom in the comments below.
Dose of Venom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, YouTube.
Like
guess we'll see you guys. Oh. well, and I guess it works on two things because with the whole we thing.
Yeah.
All right, YouTube. We'll see you guys later.